um, goes who's spiritual, who's not.
Right? Because temptation is the thing.
Yeah. So I mean, what is temptation leads to what?
Right. But there's a lot of sin going on anyway.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Shit. Flip this camera over. How's work? Work's going? Just got out. Yeah, I feel you. Alright, let's get this show on the road. It's not gonna be too long.
I don't know. But I'll go. I gotta pick up that lady like at 12:30 though.
No problem.
You know, so
It's gonna be pretty jam packed full of stuff, but
we get the edification out. Yeah.
yeah. You guys recording? Go ahead.
Alright, Shalom. We are the real Hebrew Israelites. We come out every week, prophesy the downfall of this kingdom, America, which is called the daughter of Babylon, in the Bible, and to teach you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're the Lord's chosen people, the 12 tribes of Israel, and we want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Pakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone Camps for teaching us the truth of the Bible. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect scattered around the world. Shalom. I'm the brother Amawan.
And the brother Kawak.
Brother Markov.
And the brother Kawak got the lesson.
So today we're going to talk about a little bit of temptation and suffering, because you know, I'm just thinking, but I've been seeing a lot of accidents lately. A lot of people getting judged. People telling me stories about motherfuckers getting killed. I mean, it's beautiful, but on the way back from work, and the water Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai for hooking me up with a good job. On my way back, tired. Jake's tired, but if you're a prophet, you notice things. And I was kind of drowsy. And then it was on the ramp on the freeway right next to Costa. There was a car, nose in, and ambulances and police. So I seen the lights, and naturally everybody slows down, right?
Yep.
And you become alert. But when are you, Jake? When is Israel gonna see the lights? When is Israel gonna see the lights?
The only time they learn is when they see the siren lights.
Yeah. You guys don't see nothing. You don't see the lights. Now here's the light. Can someone get Psalms 22? People like to say, Yahweh Shai. I mean, Jesus or Yahweh Shai. They say both, but IUIC says it to be idiot. And then I got a comment. Guys, I appreciate you preaching, but you gotta say, quit mixing up languages.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth up. Because, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say you went into this channel. This guy doesn't even
have nothing.
words. Yeah.
And that's the way it is. Because everybody who has an opinion never has any works. And, it's not just about works, it's about faith. But faith moves you to work. Alright? So, people be like, when Yahushua was on the cross, he blasphemed. He said, Father, why have you forsaken me? And people get into their own mind and they'll say, because he was dying, and he was like, why are you doing this to me? But can someone get Psalms 22, the first verse?
I'll get it.
And I just want to start off by, I already started, but I want to also make a point. Satan knows the scriptures. Satan knows the scriptures better than most of you.
So, Psalms 22:1, it says, my power, why hast thou forsaken me?
Exactly.
Why art thou so far from helping me and from the words of my roaring?
You see? And then that's Yahushua in the flesh, right? But not only is that Yahushua in the flesh when he was on the cross, but that's also Psalms. King David wrote that. You see, so everybody that has faith at one point in time gets tempted. Why are you doing this? Why are you preaching? Why you out there in the street? Ain't nobody listening to you. Oh yeah, he did. He did. Busters. And you know what? We fall. Man, my back hurts, man. My feet hurt. My wrist hurts. But I was thinking to myself, should I call the brothers and tell them I can't make it? And I thought about Yahushua, and I was like, yeah, fuck that. Why? Let me suffer for a little bit. It's good for me. So, now we're going to be in Matthew 4 and talk about, because remember, that's a scripture. People seem to forget. The last thing Yahushua did was quote scripture. He was dying.
Check, I got it.
Go ahead.
This is 2 Corinthians 4:7, where it says, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory.
Yeah, and then I thought about how much he suffered compared to all of us in the truth and all of us in the world, and that ain't even a comparison.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm gonna and I'm at work, and it's pretty cake, but the thing is, I prayed for it. I prayed for exactly this, and this is what I said: give me something easy, Lord, but not too easy. And then I said, make me strong enough to be able to deal with it. Tell you what, man, my feet hurt, my back hurts, my wrist, everything hurts. I take some aspirins, there we go, we're good to go. The house, I didn't have no motherfucking aspirins. He was on that cross, and then not only that, Satan was talking shit the whole time. And but his affliction was for a little time.
I got a piece of
Go ahead.
This is Ecclesiasticus 2:1. My son, if thou come to serve Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, prepare thy soul for temptation. That's where it begins, is this truth.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll get tempted to try and fall out.
You get tempted in all kinds of a manner because the stakes are high. Before, when you were a Christian or whatever in the world, it's all good. He forgives you. It's all good. He knows your heart. It's all good, this and that.
Just go to church.
Yeah, just go to church and you'll be alright. Just pay some time. But then you get into this book, into his words, and guess what? Somebody fucking lied. Somebody lied to me. So now that's the temptation. Now I feel like getting revenge. You lied to me my whole life until I became a man and took it upon myself to find out the truth.
Yeah.
Okay, busters. So let's get Matthew 4:1.
I got Matthew 4:1. Then Yahushai led up to the spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil.
In the spirit. So that means that the Holy Spirit was taking him, right? But I heard that you don't know what the spirit is. It's the chariots. Because it took him up. And the worst part about that is he was what did it say? Then was Yahushua led up to the spirit in the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. So let's say whatever angel picked him up, he knew why. And wherever he was at on the planet, because Yahushua could do whatever he wants.
He was preparing himself for temptation.
He was preparing himself for temptation. Also, another Passover. Because you know how you get when this Passover, did I get the lamb? Did I get the wine? Did I get the herbs? Oh my God, the 7 days of unleavened bread, do I have enough? I made bread there all 7 days.
And he fasted 40 days.
He fasted 40 days.
And that's how you get get rid of the demons.
That's right.
The evil spirits.
You gotta punish it.
That's how you get rid of the temptation.
So just imagine being tempted in whatever way you're tempted. Let's say your temptation is light. And stealing's not light because people get punished for that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
People get punished for that. But if you're hungry, you're trying to feed your family, and you're kind of you don't know how to get a job, your only option is to rob. I don't know if I could blame you for stealing to provide for your family. But what if the sin is great? Oh man, how great could it be? Well, adultery is pretty bad. That's something you kill for.
I got it here, cause you said like stealing. If you're doing it to you're hungry, you know, cause it says right here, Proverbs 6:29. It says, "So he that goeth into his neighbor's wife, whosoever touches her shall not be innocent." And 30 it says, "Men do not despise a thief, if he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry." 6:31 it says, "But if he be found, he shall restore sevenfold. He shall give all the substance of his house." See?
Yeah, if you found stealing.
Yeah.
But you can't be found stealing a wife.
Yeah. Because that's what it says. Pretty much it says that right there.
Yeah.
32 it says, "But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doth it destroyeth his own soul."
Destroy your own soul, man.
You gonna fucked up.
Yeah, but in the worst way.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is, that's somebody's property.
Yeah.
That's somebody's property in a way where it was set aside for that man.
Well, it tells you in Jeremiah the 3rd chapter, once that land is polluted,
Nobody wants it.
nobody, it's no good.
Just like in the land of Israel, there's a bunch of diddly doots over there. We're gonna have to burn that place up a little bit.
Which is the spirit, because how it's just gonna all happen, you know what I mean? Because it needs to get purged though through that fire though,
And it's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna happen. Oh man. So let's prepare ourselves for the temptation of this. Watch, because there's I'd say about 15 countries whose dollar is more powerful than the United States dollar.
Yeah.
15. And like 10 of them are Arabian, Arab countries. They got the fucking oil money. So what if they decide to fucking never pay back the United States? Why? You guys are crazy. I ain't paying you. You telling me what to do, but I got more money than you.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, man, I got power, money. I got the power, man. I got the power to say no to you, motherfuckers.
So and what I'm saying is, pay attention. Nobody likes the U.S. Nobody likes America. And although we denounce this place, they don't like us either.
Yeah.
They don't like us at all. But guess what? We're going to be tempted with the daily bread. Can you get number 2? Verse 2.
You want to get?
Matthew 4 and 2.
Yeah, I get it. Matthew 4:2 it says, "And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered."
Man, imagine being hungry.
Imagine 40 days. There was that pastor dude that tried though, but he died.
So pay attention to this. Esau sold his birthright because he was fucking starving. Satan knew that.
Yeah.
And what did he do? Oh, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. I'm gonna just tell you, but then we're gonna read it. He said, "If you are the Son of God, turn these rocks into bread."
Pretty much he was talking shit. He pretty much was talking shit.
Like a woman.
Yeah, they're talking shit.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Because Satan is the spirit of everything wicked and evil. Just imagine you're fucking hungry. Just imagine if you were hungry and you knew you could count on me, but I said some crazy ass shit like that. Wow. You would never talk to me again. Because Satan knew how it should work. And he's gonna talk to him like that? Man. So let's go to number 3.
Matthew 4:3 it says, "And when the tempter came to him, He said, if thou be the Son of God, command these stones to be made bread. He said though.
Damn.
Very much talking shit, you know?
And he was hungry too. 40 days and 40 nights. Hey, but when you're hungry, you get mean,
They call it hangry.
angry.
Hangry.
So this wasn't a conversation. This was a freaking fight. This was an argument. What the hell are you talking about? I'm hungry. Hey, you know, I could just see how it's like controlling himself, trying not to lose.
Talking shit.
Then he was he did a good job, man. How many of us could say we did a good job? Just think about the daily struggle you're going through. Deny yourself. Like, I denied myself going to sleep right when I get off work. I'm tired. I gotta do this. I got to do this. And if we can get Job 3, just to show you, actually, what is it, Job 1 or Job 3, when Satan came amongst the sons of God?
I think second though, or the first second?
Yeah, it's around there.
second, yeah.
But just to show you that Yahushua and Satan know each other.
Yeah. So when it said no, but he got kicked out of heaven, he came over to the earth though and started doing like, what do you mean? He works for Yahweh though, man.
And man,
He
damn.
created spirits of vengeance. And who created spirits of vengeance?
I'm gonna get Job 9:27. No way, I think I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah, it was like the account though. It's like with how the serpent too also went to Eve though, you know. This devil's always coming up though and trying to do some slick shit, man. You know. I mean, even though there's like the spiritual devil though, but you know what I'm saying though. But it's still, this devil has power though, you know, and he uses this Esau white man to be deceitful, man, within people though, you know.
Yeah.
So the power, that's why what you call the elites though, man, they got the power from the devil, man.
Perfect. That's perfect you said that, because this is Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So those elites, baby, they're not suffering.
Hell no.
But guess what? There's gonna be the day when it's gonna be paid. You're gonna pay for it because you don't own it. You're renting it.
Yeah, because why is it that they have bunkers on and things like that? Why is the word bunker being thrown around lately though? You know, because even those elites know, man, something's gonna happen though, man. And I believe those elites don't even live here in America.
They don't.
Them motherfuckers be living out in different places though, man.
No.
So it's you people that got bunks though. Like you people that have bunks here in America. Good luck, man. Because the elites are like 2 steps ahead from you motherfuckers, man. They know this place is gone to fucking shit, man. You know?
And regular Edomites got bunkers hundreds of feet deep, but the elite got bunkers miles.
Miles though, yeah, I was gonna say. Or you gotta call like a little train or a little car though.
Yeah.
Driving over
That's
there.
why they're so confident.
Yeah.
They're like hidden away, right? Let's get Matthew 4:4.
Matthew 4:4 it says, but he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of power.
Of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, his father, Yahweh, gave Yahushai the word, and Yahushai spoke it. So this is what we're reading. We're reading the word, this word. So, man, that is a powerful word. Because guess what? We're in our human minds. Oh yeah, I wish I fasted for 40 days, 40 nights. He wasn't really. He was hungry. He might have been starving, but he had sustenance.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
Not like us. Come on, we can't even go on a fast for 24 hours. I'm all looking at a piece of fucking bread like, I gotta have it.
I remember when I did the Day of Atonement, man, that first year,
one,
man, that was the one that, damn, the day's going slow today.
But
you know?
how, you gotta think about the word. Because it's easy to forget about it. It's easy because temptation's always there. But Yahushua was being tempted, and all he kept bringing back was the word, the word, the word. Preaching the word.
Because the way too, you got to speak 100% truth, you know, and if you're not, then Satan might be among you. As this Matthew 16:21, from that time forth began Yahushua to shew his disciples how that he must go into Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes and be killed and be raised again the third day. Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, Be it far from thee, Lord, this shall not be unto thee. So Peter was rebuking Yahushua, saying that this ain't going to happen. You know, that the Lord was not going to get crucified.
Yeah. Yahushua had to check him because.
Yeah, and it said, But he turned and said unto Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense unto me, for thou savorest not the things that be of the Most High, but those that be of men.
Yeah.
Exactly. Though. So he knew that, you know, like that Peter saying was no, but he had to check Peter though, you know. But I guess because he was saying though, it's like, nah, man, you know what you're talking about right now,
Yeah.
you know.
Even Peter was getting tempted. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peter lost a little bit of faith, and you can argue that all day and night. But Yahushua told him straight to his face, look, man, by the time the rooster crows third time, you would have denied, or whatever he crows once, you would have denied me 3 times.
And he was telling him, no, I won't. I'll be there. You know, I'll do this and that. I'll be there. You know, pretty much. And look how it all laid out though, too. You know.
It's like that one guy you always hang out with, your homies. It's okay to have homies, and they're like, oh, I'm down for you, I'm down for you. And then your enemy comes and he dips.
Hey,
I gotta go home.
And that's what happened. Today's what, 16? Oh, today's okay. Yesterday, you know, Slovakia though. Like, no, like yesterday on April 15, right? Back in 2011, Jake that I know, you know, I went to school with, he got they were at the park in Kalinga playing basketball. It was Jake that I know, and he was with his homie, right? They're banging and shit, right? So then their enemies rolled up 10 deep, and the one that I know, Jake though, he ran up on them though, right? 10 deep though. And what happened with his homie? His homie took off. I believe his knife fell out of his pocket, and the same enemies used it to kill Jake that I knew. And it started, and this back in 2011 and what happened. So yesterday will mark like, what, 13 years, 12 years since it happened? You know, so what his brother was saying though. And then he tried to redeem himself, but the guys from Kalinga were like, nah, fool, you ran on, fool, man. You no good to us. And but this is what this brother is saying though. You could talk it, but it's your actions that prove more than your talking though, man.
Yeah, and then so with me, it's like, what are my actions proving? Well, that I came out here.
Yeah.
I came out here with the real homies. Why? Because they need me, and I need them. We need each other.
It's always a joy, you know, coming out once a week at least. At least we get that once a week to at least be around doing what we love to do though, you know?
This is right.
Because then it's like back to the world, like not being, like, you know, just going back to the world, the usual shit, man, that you got to deal with, and all these other things though. But the one time, like, we could come out here once a week though, it's a blessing though, man, because we could be our actual true self though.
Yeah, that's right. Because we could, like this brother said, Alma once said, sometimes you just gotta say the truth. Like, and if you don't say the truth, then Satan's among you.
Yeah.
But guess what? Sometimes you can't say the truth. Like at work, with your family. And that's what I'm laughing about, because I said all those things that I thought was right in all the wrong places. To my family, at work. Man, I got fired. You seen me get fired. And I got fired again. Yeah, I told everybody. Because I was getting fired and I ain't gonna hear it. And then there was 2 managers, and one of them, they were both being cool. But one of them named Kenny, remember Kenny? He was like, oh man, I like you, man. I know what you're talking about. I know he's black. He wanted to wash off the guilt. But that's how this world is, man. They don't want to hear it.
You busted a pilot?
They busted a pilot. And then they gave me my severance pay. that's the day right there. I remember that day like it was yesterday, because it started off with the UFOs, with the chariots, with the spirit actually. And I tell this story all the time. I was changing the trash can just like this, man, fuck. And I thought about it. I wonder if they'll really come to take me out of here if I ask them. And I said, man, I hate this fucking place. Come and get me. And those orbs came, real creepy on me, like real slow. Like, okay, fool. And I was like, I regretted it. I regretted saying it because I wanted to fight. I want a chance to try to get my crown. If they would have took me, that would have been game over, no crown. Even though I knew the secret of calling them. But guess what? That's not the first time. Show me. You know what? If you're gonna call for me, I'm gonna be there. So when he calls for me, I'm gonna be there. Camp is very important.
So I wanted you to do the work, though. You know,
That's right.
Yeah, because that was the beginning of the truth you were in, right?
Yes,
You were
sir.
in the beginning of the truth. Yeah.
So that was the first part, and then everybody in the whole store was getting crazy. I was like, man, 'cause it was me, some dude named Joey, and some guy named Vinny, and these two guys, they were fighting the truth. They were like, no. Everybody was, right? Everybody was. I told everybody, even the so-called brother named, I'm not gonna say his name, but what did he wanted to call? Zaquan Arar, ancient curse. This dude. He was telling this brother that he came in the truth first, and I go, nah, Buster. I remember I got fired because I told you the truth, and you were like, don't preach to me.
Is that the Jake though that thought the world was flat?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Yeah.
His
I know
head
you're
is
talking
flat.
about. Yeah. He says it's flat. Yeah. Conscious. Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, that was. I put my heart and soul in there, and that wasn't the worst experience. It was pretty terrible, being walked out of the store, everybody looking at you. Oh, that nigga got
Been there.
fired.
Yeah, been there. Everyone's looking at you.
Got fired.
Yeah.
And then they'll wield power of that. But guess what? That is your power to wield, to embarrass. But guess what?
And then he knew someone who was a bug out too. Remember what's his name?
Ramon.
Yeah, Ramon.
But guess what? Those two bug outs, I seen one of them. He was getting a pizza from Little Caesars. I was too, but he was alone. And I was with my two boys, my two sons. So there you go. You have a lot of things to think about. What this brother said is absolutely true. Are you going to be for real? Are you going to be legit? Are you going to say the truth and nothing but the truth? So help you, Yahweh Shem Yahushai? Because that's what this is all about.
I get a piece of it real quick. Matthew 16:24. Then said Yahushai unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it.
And I lost my shit a couple of times, man. But it's amazing because here he is, putting me in a position where people will look at me and then they think the most awful things. But then he redeems me, and I don't even know this is happening. I don't even know what's happening. All I know is that he's using me, and I say to myself, well, that's fine. But go ahead, I can't say no. And he'll make me look like a fool in front of all these Edomites. But guess what? Let's say this Edomite hates me and everything, and then he just wants me dead. But she has a daughter. And I never talked to her. But Yahweh Shem Yahushai will be like, oh yeah? She's going to pursue Kawak. And he's going to reject her. But this girl might be fucking pretty or fine or whatever. And for some damn reason, I'll just be like, nah. And that'll devastate her. But guess what? That's not the what I'm talking about. Because that didn't affect me. That affected the dad. Because now she's crazy. Oh, he didn't want me. I don't know what the hell girls think about, but I'm pretty sure that would affect her brain. And then the dad would be like, what's going on, baby? Come on, we'll tell your papa. I love his wetbacks, and he doesn't love me. All I want is his ears. And then she'll say some things that are true for her, put a spook in him.
Tell her side. Well, you know how they say that's her side of the story, though. You know.
But here I am, just worrying about the word, truth. Because that's a beautiful thing for me. Because, like I said, he'll trip me, and I can't say I fell by myself. He'll trip me. He'll be like, man, we're having too much fun. Bam, trip me. And I'll fall hard. But the pain and the suffering, like the Hawashai was going through, is meant to make you think. Why is this happening? Well, he was purifying himself. So when you're being tempted, you got to deny yourself so that you can purify yourself.
Yeah, exactly though. Yeah, you know, like I said, the demons come in different type of demons. You know, you know, it's not just like the hunger demon, and it's like lust demons though. There's the money demon though. There's a bunch of demons though that y'all out there though, man. You know, sometimes people don't realize that they're idolizing their own wife though. You know, put the wife, you know, first though, and things like that. That's not. Oh, I can't go out to camp though because me and my wife got a date that day. Like, you know, just that's like putting the woman in the front, man. You know, or the kids though. Oh, my kids have a soccer practice or you know, that day, or something to do with that. You know, that's literally denying though. You know, you gotta deny like all that though, because you know, like, so the truth comes first though and everything.
And you just look at all these people. They don't have to go around here. They're somewhere over there. Why did they come over here? This is a turnabout.
yeah.
Because they're wondering what's going on.
Yeah, people be looking though, you know.
I got a precept for what you were saying about, because it all comes down to a sacrifice, you know. Like, are you going to sacrifice, you know? 1 Corinthians 10 and 20. But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to the Most High. And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean Edomites or just Edomites, because our own people are devils. Hey man, I got this venture where we can all make $1 million. We just gotta sleep with this dude's wife. What?
That's the fellowship of the devil.
Yeah,
Exactly though.
It's real easy to follow the devil.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
look at P Diddy. P Diddy give everybody a bunch of money to let them pop them in their booty hole.
And I bet you all the probably Edomites too that had money though, you know.
And it's like nothing for them. Because like Esau, the spirit of Esau lives in all these wicked people, forsaking his birthright for crumbs.
But see, they want two cups. They want the cup of the Lord, and then they want the cup of devils.
Yeah.
See, 1 Corinthians 10 and 21, ye cannot drink the cup of Yahweh Shem Shai and the cup of devils. Ye cannot partake of Yahweh Shem Shai's table and of the table of devils.
See, it's all about the scripture. Everything in the scripture is all about the scripture. It's not about nothing else. Because what does that basically say? Read it again. It's beautiful.
Ye cannot drink the cup of Yahweh Shem Shai, not be in the truth, you know, and the cup of devils.
Yeah, because to know the cup of the Lord, you got to know the whole truth. You know, because if you're drinking out, let's say, you know, we're just speaking spiritually, right? You're drinking the Lord's cup, right? But then here over here on the devil's cup, it's like you could wear a hat when you prophesy. That's just a little sip. But then you come back, you're diluted though.
Yeah.
You know.
And it always starts with little things.
Yeah. It just starts with little things. Look at
You just put some of that into
the Lord's cup, right? Yeah, look a little.
Yeah.
just a little, you know, just a little quick.
And now you made
splash.
it dirty. Now
Yeah.
The water's dirty now.
Yeah, it's all polluted and all that though, you know.
Yeah.
Goes into like the leaven though, man.
Plenty of examples.
Now the truth is dirty.
This dude, what's his name? General Gonorrhea?
Yana?
General, you're on one? You're a piece of shit, man. You're a piece of shit. Because you were drinking from the cup of your house side and of the devil. But the devil's cup was in secret. You little bitch.
Yeah, you definitely have to keep it a secret, man. That motherfucker's. I mean, you already tell as it is though, man. But this guy poured the whole devil's cup into the Lord's cup. You know?
At least that fool Sakari tried to be a man and say something. Oh, yeah, I ordered it, but I didn't do it.
But motherfucker, well, first of all, what the fuck you doing ordering it?
Okay, we'll go as far as believing it. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do it again. That's what we'll say. But what's Johanna gonna say?
Yeah, because how do you come back from...
How do you come back from
Yeah.
sucking dick? I mean, damn, man. That's incredible. And which means hard to believe. Because you're supposed to be drinking from the cup of your Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Man, you should have just drank antifreeze.
Yeah, that you don't. The Lord's cup though is like a drop to him now, because now the rest is just the whole filled up glass of the devil, man.
And everything you did under the flag of Yahushai, it was worth nothing because it was all in wickedness. And you're sorry.
And that's the beautiful thing though, that everything's coming out, man. Everything's coming out in the light. You know what happened with this guy from Sakari though? I mean, I knew something was gonna come up eventually, but this one took me out of the left turn. Like, oh shit, he did that. Like, you know. But that's good though, because the truth is coming out. Like the brother was saying, you know, the truth is coming out. So all you people that had your faith in this motherfucker right here, in which that guy's comparing him to Yahweh Shai though, that guy from the podcast, whatever though. It's like, man, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? You know, like, didn't you know about the whole peg thing going on with this dude though? And you over here trying to call him Yahweh Shai though?
Probably did. I mean, yeah,
It's stupid though, man.
that's like
How is this guy even relevant?
you're all gonna get lined up and murdered.
Exactly though.
So now we're gonna wind it down. I mean, see how everything is being covered, because once you drink from the cup, it's done. This is a special cup. I'm gonna get Matthew 4 and 6, and said unto him, If thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou shalt dash thy foot against a stone. So, temptation. If you're this, then do this. Okay, but I got something to say. If you're an Israelite, shouldn't you be letting your woman tell you what to do? Shouldn't be letting her convince you to order a peg kit. You shouldn't be fucking looking at men and fantasizing about them.
Or having one of your wives get dealt with Esau too twice, and she ended up liking the second Edomite and got a kid with him.
She's fucking dumb.
And he still wanted her back.
That's,
What the fuck's wrong with you, man?
that's,
Like,
well, yeah, what is wrong with you?
what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, you just, one of your wives though, she dealt with two Edomites though. The second one she fell in love with, had a kid with him, and then you still want her back though after that.
Sickness all around.
What the fuck's wrong? Like, what the fuck, man? That's why I'm like, how is this guy still relevant, man?
It shouldn't be.
He shouldn't be though, man. And I'm not saying, oh, he shouldn't have followers, because we know people are dumb as it is though. But it's like, how is this guy still relevant, man? Like, everything got exposed from this dude and everything though, but then he's still like making videos. Like, bro, how do you have still so-called integrity though?
Yeah, how do you keep your integrity?
How do you, man, like, how you showing yourself making videos, bro? Like, you should be ashamed though. That's embarrassing though. And you still, like, it's all good. Like, it's all good, bro. Like,
That's
what
the
the
problem.
hell? You should be ashamed, bro.
That's the problem right there, because you think it's all good because you were drinking from both cups. You had the cup of Yahushua in front of the camera. You turned the camera off, and then you had the cup, which is the left hand. Look at the left hand.
Go on,
And I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
I said the cup of Yahushua with my right, and the cup of Satan with your left. Chugging it.
Chugging it, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, that is going on record. We're gonna be in the kingdom. Isn't that dude? You're never gonna live that down. That's why it's so important to keep your integrity. So now we're gonna get this last one, Matthew 4 and 7.
Matthew 4 and 7, it says, Yahushua said unto him, It is written again, Thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy power.
Don't tempt him. Don't tempt him. So you tempted him. Man, he's gonna forgive me if I do this. How? The book says not to do that kind of stuff.
Because by sinning, that's how you're tempting him.
Yeah.
You're tempting him to make him punish you.
Yeah, I was gonna say pass judgment on you, you know?
Yeah, it's no coincidence that, you know, all this is coming out and it's hurting your pride and your ego. But whatever happens, you know, how are you gonna come back from that? How do you come back from that?
Well, that's what I'm saying though, man. If he was really diligent though, he would have, you know, apologized, started from way back though. Or he
All the
would,
time.
yeah, so since he got kicked out of GMS though, you know, we're talking about now years back though, to the everything he said though, the books of what does he say, the Apostle Paul, or not, you know?
Ah, shit, don't even talk about the Apostle Paul, man, because I've been studying. And guess what, man? Paul did some work.
Yeah, and he had well, we're talking about suffering, right? He had that thorn in the side, what he talked about. We don't know exactly what it was, but it could have been infirmity, it could have been something though. But he was
Bad.
still doing the work though, you know?
And you said, and I believe this is what you said, Paul didn't write none of those books. Well, guess what? Technically, you're correct, but his pupils wrote his words down. So those are his words being written down, the words of Yahweh Shai by Paul. And guess what? It's in the Bible. And you were so against him because he was against sexual immorality. That's why you didn't like him.
And I thought too, because of the hat thing, right?
Nah, come on,
That's
man.
my- you know what I mean?
You look at people do these snake things, like they'll hide, like, oh look at my glasses, but why look at your glasses? You look at your fucking eyes. Your eyes are fucked up because you need glasses. So they'll be like, this is what I want you to see, but trying to hide the big thing. See, like I can't get over it. How you can think a man is sexually attractive. That's incredible, man. Because sometimes I be looking at women, and they might be butterfaces, but they got all the right parts that I like.
And if they're like, you know, like good, or how they say good personality, or they humble, then that makes them even more better though, you know? They don't have to be the prettiest model, as you know, but at the same time, it's like, hey man, they got some good, you know, they good though, they're
Got
humble
some
though.
good traits.
Yeah.
So that's how you gauge somebody. So, you know, the whole lesson was about temptation and suffering. So when somebody comes up to you and talks silly stuff, that's the cup of Satan. Oh, if you're really in GMS, you'll do this. Come on, you gotta be a kid to fall for that one. But I'll tell you like this: if we are the men of Lord, He's gonna make us suffer. That's all there is to it, because the brother got the scripture. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation.
Can I get this?
Yes, please.
2 Corinthians 12:7, it says, unless I shall be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to befit me, lest I should be exalted above measure. So whatever he was going through, he was just saying it was just to keep him humble, balanced though, you know? You know, because he got all these, because, you know, Yahweh Shai was like directly dealing with, you know, Apostle Paul. So, you know, he got those revelations and things like that. It was like, we still got to keep humble in his truth though, you know? You got this wisdom, you got this knowledge though. It's like, yeah, you got all this wisdom and knowledge though, but doesn't mean to puff up though and be you thinking you're all that and this and that though, man. Because I believe that guy Alazar was in the truth not even that long before he got kicked out. I don't even know how long though, but he wasn't in GMS for that long though, like that, you know? Dude got kicked out and everything though. Then he started doing his thing though, you know?
Yeah, I never liked the guy,
Me either. I never liked dude though, man.
especially when you called Pastor Har a motherfucker.
Yeah. When he first time met him, right?
What the fuck you calling him for? You have no respect.
That's why Apostle Recall said, nigga, lucky I was in there though.
Hey,
Yeah?
Apostle Ricard
Would have checked his ass right, told some shit, you know? But
Man.
who knows, but you know?
You know what? That's what. Hey, it's a good thing he wasn't, because none of this would have happened. Now we know all kinds of things about you. Now, guess what, nigga? Now you don't got no respect. You got a precept?
Yeah, I got one more. James 1:12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation,
There you go, that one.
for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which Yahweh Hashem Ashai hath promised to them that love him.
So with that, you know, let's keep suffering a little bit. Keep suffering. You guys are doing a good job.
Yeah, because how the principle earlier suffered for the affliction for just a moment. You know?
And one more, Shalom.
Oh yeah, I like that. You're into it now.
Revelation 3:10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. That's the biggest temptation.
And that was a
That's
perfect,
gonna be the
that
temptation
was
though.
perfect scripture to get.
That's a life or death though, because if you don't get it though, what happens? You're not gonna be able to purchase and get things though. So, but if you do get it, you're actually gonna get killed for it.
So
No?
you have to know that if you're not getting it, there's gonna be consequences for not getting it. If you do get it, there's gonna be consequences for getting it.
Exactly.
Which one are you taking?
Yeah, exactly though. Because if you do get it, like I said, you're gonna be missile food, or you're gonna get a cancer or something
Right.
though, or you're gonna get a pestilence or something, whatever it's
Are
gonna be
you
though.
gonna get AIDS in your butthole?
Your ass is gonna get something though, you know?
So,
What
remember those choose your own way books?
Yeah.
Like in the day.
Oh my
You
God.
choose like you choose
A path?
a path, a different path.
Oh yeah.
If you choose this, you turn to page whatever.
Yeah.
Well, we chose our path. I hope we stay on the path of righteousness. So with that, we're gonna give all praises to double honors to the apostles. Peace, blessing, mercy, and salutation to all the hopeful elect out there. Shalom.
Come on.